When the Trump administration seized Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro from his country earlier this year on drug trafficking charges, many analysts predicted the worst. Some warned of an Iraq-style disaster, a sudden power vacuum, spiraling violence, and a humanitarian crisis that would dwarf the one already unfolding. But nearly half a year on, those predictions have not materialized. So far, the U.S. decision to take Maduro but leave much of his regime in place is producing a fragile stability. Much of the Trump arrangement appears to focus on tapping Venezuela's oil reserves. They are reportedly the largest in the world and have been mismanaged for decades. Within weeks of Maduro's capture, Venezuela passed a new hydrocarbons law to open the sector to more foreign investment. Production has now rebounded to above 1 million barrels per day and is projected to rise further. The economy has also benefited from another Trump-fueled crisis, the Iran war. The disruption of the oil trade caused by that conflict has driven global prices up and made Venezuela's oil exports far more lucrative. Today, foreign investors are rushing to get in on Venezuela's oil renaissance. In Caracas, the aging JW Marriott Hotel has become an unusual symbol of this new era of Trumpian deal-making. After the U.S. reportedly set up a de facto embassy on the top floor, the hotel is now a hotbed of diplomats, spies, and oil tycoons, where, according to the Wall Street Journal, Spanish is spoken with a Texas twang. But for most Venezuelans, this sudden prosperity is still very much out of reach. Annual inflation remains in triple digits, and reports from beyond the capital suggest the standard of living continues to decay, punctuated by looting, blackouts, and water shortages. Political change has been far more limited. About 400 political prisoners have been released, though hundreds are still behind bars. The regime remains repressive and authoritarian, but does appear to be allowing more dissent. The Economist recorded more than 1,200 protests in the first 2 months of this year. And despite this uncertainty, the Spanish newspaper El País sees a cautious optimism in Venezuelan polling, describing a country that is caught between a hope that has never before surged so quickly and a sense of distrust that refuses to subside. As Caracas-based Phil Gunson of the International Crisis Group observed to The Atlantic, when you look back at all the foreign policy disasters in U.S. history, this definitely ranks as a success, for now at least. So what did people get wrong? Some point to the surprising pragmatism of Maduro's former deputy and now interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, who was recognized by the U.S. as the sole head of state. Rodriguez was once a loyalist shaped by the anti-Western movement of former President Hugo Chavez. Now she's become the main broker of the bizarre new alliance with her government's longtime former enemies in Washington. As Venezuelan economist and former National Assembly advisor Francisco Rodriguez explains, her willingness to work with the U.S. is fitting in a regime that increasingly resembles a kleptocracy free of any ideology. As he put it, Chavismo is willing to cut whatever deal is necessary for its survival. That's why it works so well. The burning question is now whether Venezuela's partial economic opening can become a democratic one. So far, Delcy Rodriguez has expressed little interest in elections. Polling suggests opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado would comfortably defeat Rodriguez in a landslide. But Machado remains in exile. The Trump administration is showing little urgency to change this reality. Trump's Venezuela gamble has defied some early predictions, and Washington's current strategy of buying time may seem cautiously pragmatic to some. But as political scientist Javier Corrales notes, it is the right thing to do for now if you don't believe in democracy, if your only interest is to make Venezuela great for U.S. businesses again. Even economic growth, however, would require reforms of the courts, laws, and political systems of a country that has been deformed by 26 years of populist authoritarianism. A country in which the most popular figure, Machado, whose coalition swept the last election, is forced to live in exile, does not seem likely to have enduring stability.